everybody on YouTube. This is Christian from Northeast 360, sitting having a cup of coffee talking about some stuff. Today's video is going to be about battle belts, war belts, training belts, whatever you want to call them. Today I am putting together a training belt because I'm going to be doing some training with sheepdog response, and I don't want to take my duty belt. And you'll see that in a minute. My duty belt's, set up for work. All right. But for static range training, moving, shooting, I don't want my duty belt getting messed up, scratched up, ruined, whatever. So I am setting up a training / war belt. Now it will mimic almost 100% to my duty belt, because how we train is how we fight. Sip of coffee here. And when you're doing a draw or you're doing a mag reload, you want to be in the same spaces as whatever your work item is. All right. So the belt that I went with, and picking a good belt, you're going to want to see all these other belts out in the market, and they're going to be a lot cheaper and more affordable. And I almost broke down. I literally ordered one. It was from a company that I won't mention, other than it's a four-legged animal, looks like a dog, could be a wolf, and tactics at the end. And I ordered it, I had it shipped, and it was a mess. Okay. What was said to be Cobra buckles were not real Cobra buckles. Their website said, made in the USA, or mostly made in the USA, or it was put together in the USA. Well, when we talk about a belt being put together, what was put together? Nothing. All these battle belts and range belts and duty belts, you have to assemble the buckle and everything else, because you need to tailor it to your size, tailor your pouches and everything else, your holster, to where you want it on your body. So nothing's really put together. Everything was made in China. It was complete Chinesium. There are some good products from China that are made, and they're assembled and put together in the United States. Sure. That was not one of them. And I laughed because, I never buy cheap gear. You buy cheap gear, you get cheap results, right? But it was just so tempting because it looked so good online. Everything was, right where I wanted it. From size to thickness of the belt, it was all a sham. So, with that said, I went back to the tried and true. I run G-code stuff on my duty belt, which is right here. This is my duty belt. When I am in uniform and working, all of my pouches and things of that sort, they're all Safariland. My holster itself is Safariland, but my holster adapter is from G-code. It is a drop. It adds a leg strap. It also has a quick disconnect disc, what they call their RTI disc. I'll explain a little bit more on this when we talk about that, but this system that G-code has made is rock solid. They use a lot of, and I believe they're licensed with Safariland on a few different products, right? Including their own holsters mimic, and the attachment points mimic Safariland's gear. And it's super robust. You're not breaking this. And if something was ever to back out or pull off, there's a warranty. This stuff is all made in the United States. So moving on, that's my duty belt. We can talk more about that in just a moment. But what I am looking for in a battle belt. One, I want it to mimic what I carry when I'm in uniform, and also give me the same draw points, mag points, where my pouch is, how my pouch is set up. I have the standard Glock forward-facing magazines. Most people you see will have a canted magazine or a, forward-facing magazine along with the belt in this direction. I like this way because it is ambidextrous. It's out in front. If I have lost for some reason the use of my dominant arm, my strong arm, I can still reach with my non-dominant arm. I can put a firearm between my legs. I can put it backwards in a holster if necessary. I can use my non-dominant arm, or my dominant arm for that matter, from either side. All right? And when you pull a magazine out, it is indexed always, no matter what direction you go, towards the mag well. All right? I run a Glock G45 with a whole bunch of accoutrements on it, including a tactical light, because you can't hit what you cannot see, especially when it's in the dark. Completely stock gun otherwise with the MOS system. With the belt, we're going to move on to why I chose G-Code. There are all different belt companies, and I will list them. Blue Force Gear, 511 makes stuff. There's a ton of different companies in the market. But for me, because I'm a big guy, size matters. Looking at the belt specs, this belt will shrink as I shrink, as we are working out a hell of a lot more now. All right, it's just necessary these days. You can't be heavy anymore. The stuff that's coming down the pipe soon enough can't be heavy. I like the Cobra buckles because I can pull a car with it. Okay, clipped. This belt is perfect. All right, this is their 1.75, so 1 3/4 inch belt. It is got reinforcements, stiffening agents. They do not also do the classic, you got one little strip of molly here, one little strip of molly there to slide your things into. This has a 1 3/4 inch slide. So if you are using traditional pouches, like if you were in law enforcement, where it slides through, you can utilize that. You do not need molly to attach pouches. All right, that's one of the benefits of this belt. As you can see, Safariland, they set up their 3-mag pouch for Glock 17. I think it's Glock 17, Glock 22, so that it runs with a standard 2-inch belt, a duty belt. Now, what goes on my belt? Well, we already talked about the G-Code drop. I have a Safariland holster, light-mounted holster. This is how that G-Code system works. You have a locking system. You squeeze those two together, holster pops off. Now I can go from training day to duty belt instantly, or just pull it off so I can pack it in my bag a little easier. G-Code supplies for the type of holster that I have from Safariland. G-Code, it's the Model 39 adapter, right? You will have to buy an adapter in order to use that plate system. One of the other reasons why I like G-Code is, say for some odd reason, this locking device ever malfunctions. 4 screws, comes right off. I can literally screw my holster to it if I need to while I'm waiting on a factory part, because every single piece of this can be bought and purchased separately. Right? They have a great warranty as well. Their craftsmanship, they take all those hard edges off. They round all the edges of their plastics. They use high quality elastic, and I opt for the Cobra buckle. Some people will go with those plastic buckles. Even on my duty belt, I had the plastic buckle until I was rolling around with someone and it snapped. This is why I go Cobra buckles. It's not plastic. It's not going to degrade. All right, can pull a car. All right. So moving on, one of the things I liked and one of the reasons why I went full G-code with my belt system is because they make their system to accommodate their stuff and other people's. There is room to grow here. If I have a thicker belt or a fatter belt. Also inside, as you can see where G-code has the male portion or the scratchy portion of their hook and loop on the actual outer belt. All right, most companies don't do that. If you look at my duty belt, Safariland has the loop or soft portion. All right, doing that, they've put and imprinted a soft portion of hook and loop in here. So this belt, no matter what happens, say I don't get a good connection, this holster is not going to move. Hence why I have one of these in here. All right. The reason why I have one of these Molly quick straps is it's hard as hell to put it on, because as soon as you get to this point, the holster sticks. So what you need to do is run something in between, as you can maybe hear, until you get your holster put where you want it. I'm still adjusting it. My final adjustment will happen. When you're done, you rip this piece out. It's going to Velcro right in. And it's not going to move. All right? You're not going to have any slippage or rotation out of it. On my duty belt, you have 2 screws right here that will add and give you a little bit of wiggle room so that you can get it on your belt. Then you just tighten them down. It's not going anywhere. All right. Next up, G-code is such a high-end product. This one little piece here with the leg strap and all of the hardware and everything else, it's $103 shipped. 2 days. Okay? When you pick it up, they give you very good directions for us laborers. It has pictures, but it also has a full layout of what to do and what order to do in the back. It comes with a tube of Loctite, blue Loctite, so that once you get it all set up in the way you want it, you pull the screws out, Loctite everything down. This is never coming undone. All right? I've had my kids grab onto my holster and tug with all their weight. My oldest, he's around 135 pounds, and he works out like a beast. He can't rip it off of me. Okay? It's not like a Serper holster where the 3 bolts that they put onto the back of the Serper holster tear right off. I've seen it. Serper is a wonderful holster, but it has failures. And one is that you could just literally tear it off the mount. And now I have the whole holster. Okay? Not able to do that with this. Okay? And also Safariland's system that comes with the holster. It's not happening. You're not tearing this holster off. Okay? 300-pound guy I'm rolling with who's not, you know, in doing combatives training, was not able to rip this holster off of me. Okay? You have good steel, good attachments, long screws. Internally, you have, I would not be surprised if it's at least a grade 6 bolt or hardware. Sorry, my dog, Lobo, is playing with his new toy. So you might get some squeakies, and he's moving and running around. So enough with the holster. Moving on to the belt one more time. Setting up that belt. It has great connections. Lots of room. Now, if you don't want to fold up your tail, and they have a little slide-on piece that secures it and keeps it from flapping around and being a pain in your ass, you can cut this to fit. Take a lighter, burn it out at the edge. It's not going to unravel, and you're not going to have that tail, okay? But I want the tail for now because I'm losing weight rapidly, and I just want it that way. Moving on to the pouch, we already explained why that pouch I use. Next up is a little thing that they include with this belt. I will leave the links to the belt and everything else from G-Code's website. Talk about this. This is a tactical towel. This can be used as a keychain. I don't really see it working as a keychain as well as some of the others on the market. I understand what their idea of this is. You take your keys, you pull on this, you slide your keys up, or in a law enforcement thing, you would have your cuff key or something like that inside, and that's how it's going to hang. You want to get it off, you just lift up and the hook unhooks. All right, or you can run a loop through here. I use the tactical towel in here because you're working out in the summertime, your hands sweat, you want a dry purchase, you can come in, wipe your hands off real quick, get back into your training. Your hands are sweaty, you're trying to reload mags as efficiently, you can wipe your hands real quick and go. It is cheap enough that if it snags on something, it's going to rip off. You don't really have to worry about that. As you can see, I've used it already. And it works really, really well. I like the tactical towel on it. Would I wear that in battle? Absolutely not. Okay? I'd stow a towel or a handkerchief, or I will have a shamag on or something of that sort, anyways that you can wipe your hands off. But during training, 100%. Right? Some guys actually train with chalk on their hands. All right? It's a great alternative. Moving forward over, next item I have is a Maxpedition. This is the medium dump pouch. Pros and cons to it. Pro, super durable. The material and quick to open, utilize, take your flap, fold it back in. You're fitting probably, we'll use AR mag size. You could probably fit 4 or 5 mags in here, empty, full, up to you. Mostly on a flat range and you're moving and stuff like that. I'm running 1 mag in the gun, 3 on my belt. I don't need to carry extra mags for training, but I can take a box of ammo, dump it into here, and I can reload my mags and not have to walk back to the vehicle, back to the table, or anything other than that. So dump pouches, they're worth it. Doing the tactical, reload. So, hey, I've cleared a room, I've expelled ammo, I don't know how much is left of my gun, I'm in cover, I'm going to tactically change mags. Most of the time you want to work forward to back, so you're going to pop your partially full mag into the back, or dump it in the dump pouch. Okay? That's what it's for. All right? Their dump pouches are super thick, tough material. I believe they are 1,000 denier and 600 denier mixed. The issue that you have with Maxpedition, it is everything in Maxpedition is a la carte. Let's call it like that in food terms. You buy the bag, but you have nothing to attach the bag with. So then you have to buy either molly strips that interweave into things. I like these. Yeah, it's a Maxpedition thing. But they are basically tack ties. And I'll show you what they look like. There's lots of others on the market, but Like this is what came with my my medical kit that I have on the back of this. It's a swallow the back kit. I just found it was difficult to just unlock and get it in. And, you know, as you can see, you know, maybe Refuge Medical, that's probably something that I would want to upgrade. With these, it's almost one-handed, right? Pop, slide out, opens right up. They're very, very thick. They have holes here, so if you want to actually screw them into something, say you have a holster from, say, G-code, and you just want to screw it onto the holster, you can slide it up and in, flips over, and it locks. That is what I have in my dump pouch. I have 2 of them on the back of the dump pouch, and they're in. Also, it's a hell of a lot faster to use this than trying to put Molly through loops, okay? These sections on the back, or on the belt, to try and get a piece of fabric Molly, even at 600 denier, through this tightly sewn area without using some kind of a tool, let's say a flathead screwdriver or something like that through it, would be a pain. All right. When you do put these in, I should show you the proper way to put them in, is through the bottom, up, pull it through, and now you have your, I mean, try and do that with traditional Molly that fast. It's just not going to happen. All right. Now, moving on to my onboard medical. Another thing you should not cheap out on is your medical. I have enough experience and enough training that I could build my own kits, and I have. You've seen them in the past. Full-on, basically mid-range casualty bags. There is no better place on earth to get a medical kit, and that is Refuge Medical. They are made in the United States, and I mean every inch of the bag in product is made in the United States. Okay? It is sewn here. The fabric is made here. They are guaranteed for life. You use any of this to save someone. You call them up. They may say, hey, you know, write us up a little something saying, hey, I used this on this car accident or vice versa. They ship you a brand new or refill it. If anything fails, they want a detailed reason of why it failed, they give you a brand new one. They brag and they talk about it. Bear from Bear Independent, he is the CEO of Refuge Medical. Guys have lost him in training events in overseas, and where do you want it mailed, sir? And it's just like that. So what a swallow the back kit, and one of the reasons why I could have gone on to Amazon, I could have found, and I looked at a whole bunch of different swallow the back kits, and I was just going to throw my stuff in it, right? What I wanted in it. And one, cost-wise, by the time I was going to build a kit, it was over what this kit cost. Okay? I believe this kit with what you see here, and it comes with speed clips. Like I said, I just like the ones I'm used to. That's why I've changed them. Not that these aren't good enough. I just think we can go a little bit tougher. With everything in it, I believe it was $239. Okay? Most of your swallow the back pouches alone that are of decent quality are $100. Okay? So adding a tourniquet, that's another $35, right? Some of the tourniquets, I mean, people are really taking advantage of the tourniquet market, and some of these tourniquets are going for like $40, right? Sorry, work call. By the time you get to all the stuff, if you use true North American research stuff, you're well over that cost. Okay, they're also HFA approved. You know, those Benny card right on it. Actually, how I purchased this one. I used my Benny card. Came right in the mail. I believe it was in 3 days of ordering it. They are closed sundown on Fridays to sundown on Saturdays because they're a religious faith-based company. And that is their day of rest, their day of holy Shalom Bear. And they make a rock-solid product. And if something fails, they come out with a 2.0. The person that it failed on gets the newer bag. They back their product. I've got a video message of them packaging it sent to me. Cool company. All made in America. Barry compliant, meaning every single piece of this is from the United States. Support this company. These guys are fantastic. And if you're into prepping, watch their stuff. It's great. But the way this works is from any hand, any side, it's in the middle of your back. It's soft because we never talk about putting anything hard behind our back. You see those movies where detectives wear their handcuffs on this wall of their back so they can reach from other hand. That's a no-no. Okay? Or tumbled with the suspect, or hell, fallen down because you're running downstairs. Your handcuffs will sever your spine. I see police officers every single day doing it, and it is sheer and utter stupidity. Don't do it. But this is all soft. So if you were to fall on this, you are highly unlikely to hurt yourself. Okay? To the point of where the only thing I wish we could figure out is the only thing that's not in here. Actually, there are two things that are not in here. A decompression needle, because if I'm at this point and I need a decompression needle, I'm not going to be able to put it into myself. All right, so this is a kit for self, right? Self medical attention. I'm not going to be able to use a decompression needle. Okay, maybe somebody around me, hopefully has the experience to use a decompression needle. I'm thoroughly aware of how to use a decompression needle, but I don't have one in here. All right. The other thing that is not in here is trauma shears. Okay. I wish somehow we could figure out a way to get a set of trauma shears in here, because I can rip this off relatively quickly, even if it was not in the plastic. Like I said, it's brand new. I'm setting up a brand new belt. Okay. Rip this off real quick. In here, if I need a chest seal, it flips open. Whole thing pulls out. And there is everything in here to run the March algorithm. Okay? So you have everything from chest seals to gloves to I even opt for a TCCC card. Meaning, kind of like a toe tag, right? Where they're hurt, what section, how deep, how much blood loss, how long did you have before you responded, how long did you do your chest compressions for? It's click, 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 right? You can move on to the next casualty. These are awesome. Next up, you have your combat gauze, your regular compressed gauze, your trauma bandage, everything you need in here to respond, including some duct tape. Duct tape, super universal, solves a lot of problems, and you got some alcohol swabs in here. The only thing I'll probably add into here is a couple of little band-aids, because when you're on the range, you can cut your hands up, and you need it. Push tango. Push tango. Stop. Play two ball. Good boy. Good boy. And even a Sharpie, right? Sorry, now I got an alarm. But hey, this is live, so we don't do cuts and stuff unless we have to cut to something. So that is the medical kit. All right. It's rapid deployment, and that's what you need. Okay. Next up on my belt I will be putting a secondary tourniquet on here, okay, with an Event 10, but it didn't come in the mail. So to show you that, this system is going to be on my belt as well. So I will have 2 tourniquets available, one for me or both for me, okay? You could be shot in both legs, okay? You fix one, but you bleed out of the other one, it does you no good, okay? So I always carry 2 tourniquets on me anyways, one in my pocket, one on my belt. This system from 1110 is pretty fantastic. I was going back and forth, do I really want to buy another one because it comes off the belt that fast with the quick strap. And it can quickly go on. Again, 1110, if they could figure out how to put a pair of trauma shears onto this and have a little space for trauma shears, these 2 things together, 100%. Okay? I have the, what they call the shirt protector on here, because, body armor rubs up against stuff. It'll rub a hole in your shirt, catch on your shirt. It's a perfect addition. So that's the belt in a nutshell, okay? Everything on the belt properly. Sorry. Real time. Probably need to unlock it or else it's not going to go on. Safe and clear firearm. So I have a hood on my ALS system. So this is the whole setup. It's very basic. The belt runs 160 bucks. So if you look at it, you're well in the 2s without even adding anything on it. Okay? The best part about this belt is no one makes an inner belt with the quality that they have thought of. Okay? So their inner belt can be worn as a CCW belt, all on its own. That scratch-free surface. It's very simple and easy to use. It has infinite adjustability. But one of the cool things is, once you adjust your belt to where you want it to ride, you can trim, again, just like on the outer belt, trim where you need to be, and then it is a quick hook on and hook off. Feeds through regular belt loops. I will cut now to what this belt looks like on me. I'm in jeans, fits through regular belt loops. The clip, I like to ride it over more so that this middle clip is not hitting this clip, the Cobra belt. Find your, putting on that belt, you find your gig line, it's an old term, and you start to run it around. So we follow our gig line around. I'll tell you, the Velcro is super tough. So that should be right about right. Then you got your leg strap that comes up and around. Make sure that it's flat to your leg. And that's the whole system. It's in, it's on. Nothing is going anywhere. You can really shake stuff. It's not going to move. Then once you get what you think you like, you can solidify it. Meaning you just make sure it is encompassing all of the Velcro. Check the draw. As you can see, there is nothing in my firearm. I am not drawing at the face of my cameraman. Of course, the uninspected dog just traveling through. as Lobo loves to ham up the camera. But everything feels good. You can lock it down. When you draw from a holster, it should be comfortable to be able to holster one-handed. And you're good. You have your dump pouch, you do your work, throw a pouch, come in, load ammo. Everything is where you want it to be. And then you lock it down. Duty belt itself. Can I use my duty belt for training? Yeah, 100%. But you have to think about preservation too, okay? I've had this duty belt for, we're looking at about 6 years now, okay? 6 years. I added a Cobra buckle because that was the only fail point of this entire belt, was my Cobra buckle. I haven't had to add much. This is a Safariland, all Safariland pouches. I have room here to add my IFAK to it, or not IFAK, but swallow the back to it. I carry my flashlight, my baton, all of these things. Can I train with this belt? Yeah, 100%. Sure, I have. But through training comes wear. And through wear, you get malfunctions. That's the truth. You get dirt inside of mechanisms. You get all kinds of problems. Great, it's great to find out those problems. Hey, this setup from G-Code, I have been running it for 5 years. Okay? For 5 years. I've had the belt system for 6. So I had original Safariland, a little bit of a drop. And what I found with that Safariland drop, when a big man like me is moving, so is my gun flapping away. And I hated it. Okay? Found this product. There's another product on the market. Safariland makes it. They have a quick disconnect clip. But the problem is, it moves it out like 2.5 inches. I wanted it tight to my body. I want to be able to still fit in and out of vehicle doors. I don't want it catching on anything. Does Safariland make an excellent product? Yeah, because I know a lot of guys that carry it. And it's rock solid. It's not breaking off in a fight. But I wanted something a little bit more compact. I'm in and out of a vehicle. I'm in and out of my personal vehicle sometimes while in uniform. So, again, as you can see, the most wear I have is a little tiny bit of fraying. In 5 years, okay, I want this belt to outlast my career. 2, I want this belt set up so I can go, boom, I'm into work. Now, the difference in why also I don't want my duty belt while I'm training, I want a belt set up just like it. So it mimics all my gross motor skills. But I don't want this belt for one reason and one reason only. The stupidest things in the world. I gotta wear keepers to make sure the belt doesn't shift on me. Alright, my belt really isn't going to shift on me because of the holster. Alright, that holster kind of keeps the belt in place anyways because it is attached to my leg and it's stuck to my side. But I'm required to wear keepers. I can take that other belt on and off with a clip. Back on a clip. Why we don't use that in the law enforcement? Why is that not standardized in law enforcement? I have no idea. It just, you know, when we look at cost, you heard the cost of my other belt. I'm probably in that with all the products, all of it, including a holster. If I were just to buy all the stuff on that belt, I'm probably around $600. Okay, holster, you know, I get a discount at Safariland due to law enforcement, but Not much. My holster still cost me $200, okay, instead of $3. I think right now that holster itself with the optic protection, ALS, it's roughly comes in around $290 plus tax. I'm in it for, I think, $210 with shipping. Okay? Not a huge difference. All right? So if you look at it, that's $600. Each one of the pouches on this Safariland belt, right, is anywhere between $30 to $40 just in pouches. Okay? Think of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pouches. The belt, $80. This piece here, hardcore Cobra, genuine Cobra buckle. That's another $45. Then you talk about the equipment that's in them. Phoenix with the thime clip. We're talking about gear, right? And we're thinking about gear and, hey, you know, let me cheap out on this or cheap out on that. Well, it's just not going to last you. This belt has lasted 6 years in the condition with very minor blemishes because it's high quality. But also high quality, this belt and the whole system, plus the holster, plus all the pouches, plus the G-code, the Cobra buckles and everything else, $950. I almost like fell to the floor, and that's with discounts. Okay? So spending $600 for a total package, it's actually affordable if you look at it. And 2, if I go to my 3-day training, because this Protector 1 course is going to be 3 days of rolling, shooting, compromised stance, compromised appendages. I can't use my right hand now. Whatever they want to throw through that training, I also don't need to destroy what I need for work. So your work belt, and I know a lot of people say, work from your belt, train from your belt. Sure, set up another belt. Train from the exact copy of that other belt so that everything that you have for work stays in pristine condition. I know other law enforcement guys that will go out and buy the exact copy of their duty gun, right down to trigger pull and everything else, and train with that. Because the other gun needs to be in service and ready to run. So always have doubles. 2, I have a bump in the night. Do I want to throw on my duty belt, throw all of the extra little tiny clips onto it, or do I want to just get up, strap on my belt with just a click and a secondary click, and I have everything I need to defend what's mine? It's fast. It's very fast. Very compact. Easy to travel with to your training. And again, get training. You can have all of this high-speed gear you want and be 0 in the fight. Okay? So, get training. Quite a few people I know high up are saying the importance of training with gear right now, training with kinetic devices right now, is going to be important for the general population. So, on that stone throw, this is Christian from Northeast 360. Thank you, everyone, for the growth that I've seen on my channel. Keep moving forward, everybody.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until